All right, you are welcome to Pepe Suarez Xtra on YouTube. Thanks for always watching us. We are grateful that you continue to watch us. Keep watching this particular channel and everything about the Blackstars, Ghanaian players abroad, Ghanaian players who are shining, Ghanaian players that you used to hear of, now you are not hearing of them. We'll bring you stories on all of them for your viewing and listening pleasure. Thank you. Kindly subscribe to this page. Subscribe to this channel. It is very important that you help us grow this particular channel. We do appreciate your efforts and we are extremely grateful. We are talking about Ibrahim Osman, young, talented, pacey winger. Ibrahim Osman. Now, there's a certain trajectory, there's a certain history of Ghanaian players who pass through the Right to Dream Academy and really they are living their dream. I know you can mention a lot of them, and I will not waste too much time on that. But we can all mention Kudus Mohammed, we can mention Kamaldeen Sulemana, and a host of others who passed through the Right to Dream Academy. Ernest Appiah Nyama, the Kumasi Asafo young boy, who is now playing his football for Lyon in the French Le Championnat. All of them are products of Right to Dream Academy. Another top prospect of Right to Dream Academy is the boy called Ibrahim Osman. Now, Ibrahim Osman also passed through the Right to Dream Academy system. And when he was transferred to Nordsjælland in the Danish Super League, he was in super form. This young man was scoring with some rampant rapidity when it comes to the Danish Super League. He was a toast of everybody in Denmark when it comes to the Danish Super League. And his form, his club side, Nordsjælland, was evident for everybody to see. So after last season, a lot of clubs tabled offers for the services of the young Ghanaian boy, Ibrahim Osman. Ibrahim Osman was attracted to teams in Spain, in France, in the German Bundesliga, and then in England. In fact, in England, there was a battle between three giants of the English league. Everton were in there, West Ham were in there, and then there was also that club called Brighton and Hove Albion. Remember, Ajax, they have a special relationship with Nordsjælland, and mostly they take talents from Nordsjælland and then they will come to further develop them, and then they will blossom into the top teams and the top leagues in Europe. At this time, the club called Brighton and Hove Albion they outbidded everybody. Their bid was the best, and so they got the services of Ibrahim Osman. Now, as an analyst who follows the game keenly, today, if Brighton and Hove Albion are looking for a talent, obviously that talent may be tilted to move towards Brighton and Hove Albion. We have examples. So if you go to the Ivorian team, that young man, he also passed through the Right to Dream Academy in Ghana. He passed through the Right to Dream Academy in Ghana. And today, if you go to Brighton and Hove Albion, Simon Adingre is one of the top talents. If you want to get that boy today in your team, you may have to cough out over 70 million pounds. They brought in one Carlos Baleba when they transferred to Chelsea. The Ecuadorian boy, what's the name? Their midfielder who plays for Chelsea. You know, they sold him to Chelsea for a huge amount of money, very huge. It was between Chelsea and Liverpool who were bidding for the services of the Ecuadorian midfielder, and eventually he went to Chelsea, but for some good money for Brighton and Hove Albion. So you look at their youth development policy and how they develop and churn out young players, and clearly Ibrahim Osman opting to play for Brighton and Hove Albion was and could never have been a mistake, but they loaned him out to PSG. I want to zero down on Ibrahim Osman and the impact he's had so far in the Eredivisie, and also the prospect of him coming back to England to play for the club called Brighton and Albion. So this season, if you look at Ibrahim Osman, he's played a lot of games. Remember, Feyenoord in the Champions League were playing, but because he's a young talent, they decided that he'll be playing a few minutes. But that's a very good step, that if he had stayed at Brighton and Albion, he wouldn't get the opportunity to even taste the Champions League. He moved to Feyenoord while he was playing in Europe. In the Dutch Eredivisie, he was playing, and then in the KVN Cup in Holland, he was still playing. Yes, I can agree that he was not a regular player. He's not a player who starts every game. At his age, you don't expect that he goes to Feyenoord and then he starts every game. They had Santiago Jimenez. You know that guy, very good striker who joined AC Milan. Yes, he has joined AC Milan in the January transfer window. He moved to AC Milan. So he's been playing a couple of games. He doesn't start, but it's good. And for me, having scored 4 goals in all competitions and assisted twice as a winger, I think it is not bad for a 20-year-old player who joined Feyenoord he joined Feyenoord on loan from Brighton, and in the first season he's giving those numbers. Remember, for the Blackstars of Ghana, he's also a member of the Blackstars. So the reason Ibrahim Osman did not make it to the Ghana versus Chad and Ghana versus Madagascar was not because the coach did not like him again or that he had lost form, but he had picked up an injury and was now recovering. So, when the Blackstars squad was announced, a list of players were also attached to it as players who were injured or now recovering, including the likes of Daniel Kofiche. I think they also added Joseph Edu, and there was Jose Pencil, and then Majid Ashimero, Ali Seidu, Tariq Lamte. All of those players were added on that particular list. That was also the list that had the name Osman Ibrahim as one of the injured players who, as a matter of the fact that he was now recovering, was excused from the 2 games, Ghana versus Chad and Ghana versus Madagascar. It is the reason he was not invited. Now, we think that for young talent like Osman Ibrahim, the coaches would have to pay particular attention to their talent. Yes, the Black Stars have a certain squad, but of course, the squad is aging. Today, if you consider the age of Thomas Partey, the age of even Inaki Williams, who has hit his 30s, Jordan Ayew, the captain, who is in his 30s, and all of those players, clearly, because we are not playing the next African Cup of Nations, our next major tournament will be the 2026 FIFA World Cup, to be hosted by 3 countries, the United States of America, Canada, and Mexico. And after 2026, the next AFCON will be 2027. That's about 2 years from now. And clearly, if we don't keep an eye on young talents like Osman Ibrahim, and then begin to fuse them into our games and the national team, we may still be relying on our experienced players who cannot play more than 5 years for the national team again. Osman Ibrahim is one talent that we must all watch. I'm hoping and praying that he will return to Brighton and Hove Albion at the end of this season and then be part of the Brighton team, even if he plays as a second option to Simon Adingre. Or Kario Bitoma is being touted with a move from Brighton. If he comes and he can replace any of those players and he begins to play in the English Premier League, clearly we'll all see the talent and what Osman Ibrahim is made of. Thank you so much for watching our channel. Let me remind you that if you have any player that you want us to profile or you want us to give you update on that particular player, kindly write it in the comment section and we will do justice to that. Thank you so much. God bless you.